Happy Monday. Northside wants us to keep our cameras on, so I'm supposed to tell you, so I did. It's February 8th, 2021. We will think and connect to prior knowledge, read and focus on moral dilemma and conflict. And of course, I will do the work now. Those of us that are behind, right? Oh, I can't do today's work because I got to make up all that other work. No, 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 no. Do today's work. It's super easy and interesting, and then also make up the work that you're missing, so then you'll catch up. But I was going to deepen my understanding of moral dilemma and really think about why that affects people so much. And then for our close, well, why are moral dilemmas so intriguing? And what would you do if you were the main character in what we were reading? So that's what we're going to be thinking about. So let's see here. Oh yeah, let's do our positive affirmations because today is a good day. And if we're not in a good mood, hey, let's be positive on purpose and tell ourselves how to think. So let me hear you out loud or in your head, I don't care. What are you? I am strong, confident, and successful. Yes, we are. And how do I feel about reading? I love reading. It's so much fun. And how do I feel about schoolwork? The harder I work, the stronger I become. And it's so true. So true. That's just the way life is. And Carvajal comedy. I was kidnapped by mimes. They did unspeakable things. I get it. Unspeakable. Mimes. Yeah, I know. That's corny. Oh, such is life. All right. So what are we doing today? Thank you for asking. You are a good person. And we've got a graded assignment, although it doesn't say it. I'll fix it. Graded assignment for today in Monday's work. And thinking about moral dilemmas. So many times we get stuck, and we all kind of know what a moral dilemma is, but I want to make sure we literally know what a moral dilemma is, and are able to answer these questions. So if we look here, it says moral dilemma is a Greek word that means double proposition or perplexing situation. And it presents two different possibilities, right? It's called the horns of a dilemma because there's two options. And most of the times, neither one is good, right? Both, whatever you do, you're going to be stuck. Maybe you've heard the term, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. That's perfectly a dilemma there. Dilemma is a rhetorical device. So if you're presenting it, you can help persuade people, supposedly, in which a conflicting situation arises for a person to choose between right and wrong. Both seem pretty equal. Oftentimes, dilemmas involve ethically wrong decision that may produce desirable outcomes, right? You could cheat and you could win, but then you could get caught, or somebody could find out what you did and not respect you anymore. So that makes it difficult. Or it involves a decision in which a person needs to choose one of the two options, both of which are equally good or bad. So to give us a good example, I found a scene from one of my favorite action movies, Spider-Man from 2002, and super fun. If you've never seen that movie, watch it. Watch those older movies. This is from 2002 with Tobey Maguire. They had the newer one with Andrew Garfield, then the even newer ones with Tom Holland. And I really like the Tom Holland ones. He's a good actor. The main thing I like about the new ones is they don't waste an hour redoing the origin story. It's like, yeah, thank you, Marvel. We've seen it twice, and we don't need to see it a third time. So they realized that, and they just skipped over that part, which I am very thankful for. But this is the original movie from 2002. It has Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kirsten Dunst, and Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin, and he is mad because Spider-Man has gotten in his way one too many times. So now it's payback, it's revenge, and he has kidnapped Mary Jane and put Spider-Man in a horrible position. He has put him on the horns of a dilemma. So we're going to go ahead and watch that, but let me adjust for video. So I'm going to stop sharing and then share again. And if you've never seen this movie, once again, hey, watch it. It's pretty darn cool. Okay, so if you go into Monday's work, moral dilemma. kind of standard grading. If you do a blank post first or less than 3 lines, it's an automatic 60. And this is a really short little example of a being on the horns of a dilemma. Loyalty by Charis Dennison. It says Jeff and his best friend Stephen go to different high schools. They've been friends since 3rd grade, but since Jeff transferred to another school for 10th grade, they've started to grow apart. One Saturday, Stephen asked Jeff if he would drive him into the nearest city. He didn't have his license yet and said he thought it would be fun for them to hang out. Jeff felt uncomfortable saying yes because he'd only had his license for 6 months and his parents told him he wasn't allowed to drive into the city yet. But Stephen said that he wouldn't be able to go without Jeff's help, and they never got to see each other anymore. Jeff agreed. They left that afternoon after telling Jeff's parents they were driving to another friend's house. When they got to the city, Stephen asked Jeff to drive across town to a particular address. When they arrived, Stephen asked Jeff to wait in the car while he ran inside for a few minutes. After Stephen returned to the car, Jeff asked what was going on, and Stephen pulled out a bag of white powder. He admitted it was his drug connection, that the powder was crystal meth. When Jeff asked him why he didn't tell him that was why they came to the city, Stephen said he didn't tell him because he figured Jeff wouldn't go. That night, Jeff couldn't sleep because he felt overwhelmed by what he had found out. He knew meth was no good and that Stephen would continue using it with or without his help. He was angry that Stephen had put him in this position of driving with an illegal substance, but even more importantly, he was worried about his friend. Jeff had promised Stephen he wouldn't tell anyone about all this, but it was driving him crazy. He had a teacher at school he really liked and trusted. He wanted to go to him and ask his advice, but what if the teacher decided to turn in his best friend? Jeff was torn about how best to protect Stephen. So think about these questions. That's where you have to use your own judgment, right? Your prior knowledge, activating prior knowledge. Well, how do you think it would affect the friendship if Stephen finds out that Jeff told anyone, right, about the situation, an adult in charge? And then how do you think Jeff would feel if he doesn't tell anyone and Stephen overdoses on meth, or he gets more into it and ends up going to jail for possession or for dealing? So any way you slice it, right? If he doesn't tell, Jeff could feel really guilty. If he does tell, he could get in trouble with his friend. So what do you think is going to happen? Write your answer for both questions and see what you come up with. And then I've also got a poll I'm going to put up here in a minute for what do you think, what would you do if you were in that situation? It'll take me a minute to set it up, and then we'll kind of see where the class is at. So that's what there is to get done today.